Today I'm going to be making an easy recipe for beef tamales. Now the amount that I'm making today is definitely a smaller amount than what I would make for the holidays, so feel free to double or triple this recipe. But these beef tamales are so tender, moist, and delicious. Here's how I do it. To start, I'm going to soak around 40 to 45 corn husks. These are fairly pliable, but sometimes I get them and they are really dry. So you may want to soak these in hot water overnight, but here I'm rinsing them for any debris, and now I'm going to soak them for about 2 hours or until they are pliable. Okay, so next I'm going to work on my meat. I am going to be using around a 4-pound chuck roast. This is a boneless chuck roast. You could use the cut of beef of your choice. I'm actually going to cut this into chunks, and basically for this recipe you'll need at least 2 pounds of cooked beef. So this chuck roast was a little over 4 pounds, so I'm sure I'm going to have leftover meat, but that's fine. So I'm going to add all of my chunks of this boneless chuck roast right into a crock pot. Ultimately, you'll want to end up with tender beef. I'm going to add 1 beef bouillon cube to this. You could add 2 teaspoons of salt if you want to skip the bouillon. I'm also going to be adding 2 cups of water. I just want to see if I can yield some extra broth that I'll be using in the puree and the masa. Now I'm going to add 1 small onion that I've halved, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm also going to be adding 1 dried bay leaf in here. I'm going to cover it and let this cook on high for about 6 to 7 hours. Now I'm going to work on my chili puree. Here I have 2 pasilla chilies, 2 ancho chilies, and I'm also going to add 8 guajillo chilies. I'm going to remove the stems, and I'm also going to remove the seeds from this. Once I've removed all the stems and seeds from the dried chili pods, I'm going to give them a really good rinse. Then I'm going to leave them in the pot and fill the pot to submerge the chilies, and I'm going to take that right over to the stove, and I'm going to bring my pot of chilies up to a boil. Once my pot of water with chilies starts to simmer and boil, I'm going to turn off the heat and allow them to steep until pliable. So it's been about 6 hours here that my beef has been cooking in this crock pot. So as you can see, there's a lot of rendered broth here in this crock pot, and the meat is tender. So I'm going to remove the onion that I placed in here, and I'm actually going to set that aside because I will be adding this to my chili puree when it's time to blend them. And then once I remove the onion, I'm also going to remove all of the beef.